When I first saw Keren Wolf crown on Pinterest, I clicked on it so fast, knowing I have to have it. After I clicked on her site and noticed how much they cost, I decided I didn't want them that badly. So instead of purchasing them, I decided to make my own version of it. I'm a pretty nifty DIYer, I would say so myself, so why not give it a go, right? So for today, I'm going to show you how to make the same crown at a fraction of the cost because let's face it, while I love her design, I can't say I love her price tag. If you're someone who can afford her product, by all means, please show her love and support because she does make amazing products. Me personally, I just can't justify spending over 1K for 3 headbands that I'm not going to wear daily. So without further ado, let's get started. I will list everything down below as well as on video where I got them and what they are called. I got this mainly on Amazon as well as Hobby Lobby and Michaels. So click on the read more for more info. I want to make it clear that there's no right or wrong way of doing this. You do this in whichever way you feel fit and you don't have to use the same product as I do. I really recommend these products mainly because they are quite affordable and they are purchased in a nice bulk at the right time, so I didn't spend very much money while making this. For a complete detail of what you'll need as well as where I got it, click on the read more button in the description bar. I've also listed the substitute you can use if you couldn't find what I am using or if it's no longer sold online. Let's get started on the first headband. If you will be using this invisible thread, I suggest practicing how to thread the needle as well as how to knot it correctly. This will be very important or else the pearl will slip through. Personally, this is so simple. You can use all the same size or even the smaller pearl if you like. Get creative and make your own. This is a reference on what works for me. I've created plenty that are in different color as well as sizes for each of these crowns. In real life, these are the size that work the best together as well as when worn on, in my opinion. So without further ado, let's get started with the first pearl headband. For the first crown, I use one piece of the 8mm pearl as my smallest pearl. Then I use 14 pieces of the 9mm pearls, continuing with 3 pieces of the 10mm pearls and ending it with a 1 piece of the 12mm pearl for the center piece. So on the opposite end, I duplicate it by going in reverse. If you want to be extra and spend a little more money and find smaller pearls from 6mm to 12mm, it's up to you. Like I said, this is going to be on your pretty little head, so you can adorn it however you wish. If you're not handy with the needles, you can also use a glue gun instead. However, using glue gun and gluing this on will make the headband harder to bend and put on. And instead of using the clear fishing line or thread that I am using, you can opt out and use black denim thread or any kind of denim thread, which is also amazing and easier to handle. Just make sure it matches your hair color so it can float beautifully when worn. I like to string everything together and then sew it onto the headband. And by sewing, I mean wrapping or knotting the end by wrapping it 4 times around and then 1 time around every pearl after that. And for the bigger pearls in the center, you can wrap it around tightly twice or 3 times so that the pearl can sit closer to the headband, making the string look even more invisible. And when you get to the end, don't forget to knot it at least 4 to 5 times and cut the string off. And voila, that is done. So let's move on to the second pearl headband. Once again, I want to remind all of you that you don't have to follow my measurement. I have made so many versions of this second crown, and this was just my favorite because it fit really well with the sizes that I've chosen for the first and the third crown. But I've made many different versions of this. If you would like a separate video where I can style as well as try on the different sets that I've created, leave me a comment or a request down below. So let's get started on this crown. The smallest pearl is once again 8mm. The pearl next to that is the 10mm. Then the 3 after that are the 12 millimeter. The next 4 pearls are the 14 millimeter, and the 4 after that are the 4 20 millimeter. The last one, which is also the center pearl, is the 25 millimeter. And once again, I am repeating the sequence backward. After knotting the last 8 millimeter pearl, it's time to sew onto the headband. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to sew it on. Since these strand of pearls are already knotted, you want to use a brand new string. Make sure it's super long because you'll need it for all the wrapping. You'll make another knot at the very end, and once again, wrap the first wrap 4 to 6 times. The better you wrap this, the better it stays on and not lift. So the simple tip with the wrap are, if they're smaller pearls, use one wrap around them. As the pearls get bigger and bigger, maybe double up, and when you get to the center where the pearls are super thick, you want to make sure to wrap it 3 to 4 times just to make sure it stay on the band and not lift up as high. And if you do run out of the thread, you can just give yourself enough string so you can double or triple the knot. This way it doesn't come off. Okay, so now that I cut off the extra string, you don't want to start from where you just cut off. You always begin again straight from the end of the pearl strand and work yourself inward. And when you get back to where you ended the first time, you have to once again double, triple, even do it 4 times just to make sure that everything stay nice and tight onto the velvet band. I chose the velvet band because I have tried to tie this onto a metal band, and you will have a lot of problem with the pearl slipping, as well as the metal band hurt when being worn. I love using the velvet one because it doesn't hurt. It helps stay on my hair better. But voila, this is done. Let's get started on my favorite crown, the third one. Here's the thing. The biggest size pearl that I could find online was the 30 millimeter, but I know for a fact Keren must be using the 40 millimeter or bigger, but I couldn't find that online, so I'm settling for the 30 millimeter. Obviously, you also have the option of choosing different size pearl, whatever fits your head better. You don't have to follow my measurement, I can't stress that enough, but if you want to try my measurement, the first 5 pearls that I'm using are the 9 millimeter. The next 2 are the 11. The 2 after that are the 12. I use 1 14, 1 piece of the 20, 2 piece of the 25, and 1 piece of the 30 millimeter. And the pearls from the 30 on will be a repeat going backward. I had a hard time finding 25 millimeter pearls, so I found these 25 one at Michael. I did got these for 50% off, so even if they were $9, really I paid like $4 or $5 for them. And the easiest method is just removing one of the 25 millimeter in the middle, replacing that with this 30 millimeter that I found or bought within this bag that I found on Amazon. So you only need one. So now I'm going to string this 30 millimeter onto the original string, as well as repeating whatever that original pearl strand looked like. So yeah, this is what it should look like, and I'm just keeping it so it's easier and it doesn't move. Alright, so let's work on the smaller sides. On the sides, I'm using 5 of the 9 millimeter, and as you can see, I did make a knot at the end so that it won't fall off. Continuing on, I'm adding 2 of the 11 millimeter pearls, and the 2 after that will be the 12 millimeter pearls. Now I'm going to loop in the original long strand of pearl that I've already pre-made, and then make another version of this going in reverse. But this is pretty much how it should look like. I'm going to go ahead and knot the last one, and then I'm going to wrap it or sew it onto my headband. And that's pretty much it after you cut off the extra strings, and voila. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. If you haven't yet, don't forget to turn on that bell notification so you can be notified when we have a new video up. Don't forget to enter the giveaway that's going on right now, so head on over to my Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.